Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the card of today for the 3rd of August 2016. Right, okay, the cards this morning. What a morning I've had with them. There's a real tension coming through with the cards today. We had a lovely card yesterday, and I don't know, we do have the moon coming out, so I think it could have something to do with that moon as well. Two cards fell out when I was going to pick the cards, so we have the both of them today. Again, I'm using the Stretch Tarot, and if we have a look, they're not really the nicest cards. They're quite dark. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the Two of Swords first, and then we'll come to the moon. Okay, so bear with me because I'm really feeling edgy. I'm feeling very prickly today, and forgive me if I keep wiping my eye from getting up this morning. This eye has been watering like mad, so there's an issue going on with that I'll have to work out later on. Okay, so like I say, things a little bit, don't know, a little bit just, there's a tension. That's what's coming through with this card. Now, when we look at this card, it's just not pretty. Now, the Two of Swords within other tarot decks, there's quite a stillness with them. You know, it's a blocking off, but they're quite still. There's quite a calmness, quite a gentleness. This actually looks quite, it's quite macabre. I think, you know, it's not pretty. I don't really like this card. I'm just getting to know this deck as well, and this is one of the first ones that's come out where I'm like, I don't really like it. But when this card comes out, the Two of Swords, it's basically like, it's about a decision, I feel, that needs to be made, but it's like burying your head in the sand, not wanting to see it, you know, because there's a lot of indecision seems to be around this as well, and this is building this inner tension. Like I say, my shoulders, you know, everything, I'm really feeling it today. It's not very often I get anxious or I get sort of aggressive. I don't know if aggressive's the right word. I don't think it's that, but I'm like, you know, if somebody wants to pick a fight with me today, then today's the day, or today's maybe the not the day to do it, you know. But like I say, I'm feeling prickly. That's what it is. So what this card is saying is there's no point closing your eyes to this. You know, this is, if we have a look, it's like it's ripped across her eyes. Usually it's a blindfold, but within this it's like ripped. So it's like she's not seeing here, trying to bury her head in the sand as well. And it's like, right, okay, if I don't actually acknowledge something, then it's not happening, or it's not real. What I find interesting within this card as well, and I don't know if this will relate to any of you, but this is what came in straight away when I looked at it, and you know, I have to give it off. Normally within the Two of Swords, the lady has her arms crossed across her chest. So what she's doing is she's crossing off her heart. She's blocking her heart off, you know. Within this, the crosses are further down. Now, the first thing I got within this was it sort of seems like there's a bit of a block around the sacral chakra, which the sacral chakra is connected to our emotions, but it's also sort of our sex center as well, you know, our intimate center, you know. So I don't know if that is referring to any of you, but I really have to put that in today, because there seems to be, like, you know, it's sort of a bit like a chastity belt sort of thing being put on. And I'm so sorry, because I know that sounds completely off the wall, but that was initially what I was drawn to there. So the thing is with this as well, though, which could actually make sense, is this card is all about mental head mess, mental confusion, you know, all of this stuff going on. And the words that I always see, you know, or the words that came up when I started doing this was analysis paralysis. Right, I managed to say it, because usually I have trouble saying that. So this is about over analyzing things, you know, like, but what's happening is, because you're thinking about something that much, and because it's all going around in your head, that it's actually delaying an outcome. So it's paralyzing. By analyzing, you're paralyzing any sort of outcome. So it's basically like you're stuck in a stalemate situation where just nothing's moving apart from all of this craziness that's going around in your head. And I really feel there's a lot of like conflicting thoughts, conflicting desires, you know, and it's all going on in there. So there really seems to be a big ball of confusion, really. Right, that was a song, wasn't it? But yeah, then this is what I'm sort of feeling with this. Now, what, like I say, this does talk about the decision, and what we need to look at with this is every choice that we make does have a price. You know, we've got to pay the price for choices that we make. And a lot of times people don't actually think about this before they make a choice. So it's like, whatever is going on at the moment and whatever is causing all of this confusion, it's like looking at, you know, you're paying the price for a choice. You know, that is what is coming out, you know. With this card as well, it's saying like, if we deny our inner selves as well, you know, then what we do is we then tend to live in a self-limiting world. So it's a really confusing card this, and I'm being very careful on what I'm saying here as well, because like I say, I'm really wanting to get down to the nitty gritty with it, you know. But it's like I say, there seems to be an element that you're trying to push down, you're trying to lock away, but it's still there. And if we have a look in this card, don't know if you can actually notice that, but the cracks are starting to appear in the darkness. Now, these cracks seem to be, it's like quite a gold colour, so these cracks seem to be a little bit of light has sort of seeped in a way, you know. So like I say, there's a part of yourself that I really feel you've closed off at the minute, and I think this needs to be addressed to bring in balance and to bring in peace as well, because there seems to be a lot of mental anguish today. That is what I'm feeling. And it's sort of like, it's sort of like winning. I don't know. It's like, is it more important to be right, or is it more important to win? Or, you know, there really seems to be this, sorry if I'm not explaining this very well, but it's confusing, the messages that are coming with this, you know. And it's also about like, is doing what is expected of you worth the price that you will pay for cutting off needs of your soul as well, you know. Like I say, we were saying there, you know, by denying our inner, you know, then we will live in a self-limiting world. So there's a real, I don't know, a real confusion, just I'm sorry, I keep saying that word, but that's all that is coming into my head here, you know. So I'll put that one down for a minute, because I think we've got an idea of what this one's going on, you know. I mean, we can look, you know, there's all of these spikes coming out. It's like I say, it's prickly. It's not a good place to be. But then we have the moon coming out with it as well. Now, I always love the moon, you know. I always say I'm a bit of a moon child as well, you know. I love going outside and just looking at the moon, you know. It's very, very powerful, and I don't think people realize the power of the moon. I mean, if we look, it can control the tides and everything. So whenever the moon shifts, you know, we feel it, you know, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. You know, the moon is often I don't know if it's our best friend, but it's the blunt friend that will tell you, you know, tell you what you don't want to hear. You know, that's what the moon's like, or it will make you aware of something. Because the moon, although it's dark, and like I say, that last card was dark, and this one is dark, the moon sort of, when we're in the darkness, it's the moon that illuminates the sky, isn't it? You know, so even if we're in the pitch black, the moon still gives a little bit of light. So what this card is saying when this is here is, it's telling you to be vigilant as well, because all is not what it seems. There's a real sort of, you know, when we watch horror films and everything, and they sort of pan up and you see this picture of the moon, and then it's straight away, it's like, oh, right, what's going to happen? Because whenever the moon appears like that, there's something mysterious about it, okay? But with this, it's like saying, you know, all is not what it seems at the moment, you know. You could be being told, I don't want to say lies, I could be saying half-truths. I think that's more, that's more fitting for what it is. you know, because deceit often comes in when the moon's here as well. So, but the thing is, if we look at this woman, she seems like sort of lost in a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a daze. And this is saying, trust your intuition at this time as well. If you get something in your head and it seems absolutely crazy, madness, whatever, please trust it, because this is the moon sort of letting you know. I don't know what your dreams were like last night as well, because the moon often brings answers through dreams or in quite a cryptic way. But the moon is, you know, the moon gives us answers, but sometimes not in the way that we are expecting them. The moon as well always tells us that we need to address our shadow side, which is quite interesting with it coming in the Two of Swords, because the Two of Swords is all about suppressing a side of us, whereas the moon here is telling you, no, you need to actually address that. You need to look at your shadow side. We all have one. It doesn't matter how long you've studied spirituality, it doesn't matter, you know, how logical you are or anything, you know, we all have a shadow side. And rather than try and quash it, the best thing to do is actually try and embrace it, or recognize when it's showing its ugly head and you be in control of it. You know, remember, you are not your mind. So the shadow side always talks about elements of ourself that we try to hide from others, or we even try to hide from ourselves. Because when the moon comes up as well, this is often about like hiding from ourselves as well, you know, staying in the darkness, because when we're in the darkness, then we don't have to shine our light. You know, we've sort of got an excuse then. And as Marianne Williamson has said, you know, I've mentioned this before, that, you know, it's our light that scares us more than our dark does, you know, and that's it. You know, sometimes we are scared to be brilliant. You know, we are scared to be fabulous because we think, what will other people say, you know? But it's, you know, that is our God-given right, really. You know, so when this card comes in, it does talk about a bit of a, like a mental roller coaster as well, you know, and even feeling like you've lost your way a little bit, being stuck between a rock and a hard place, and like, right, okay, where do I go? And getting these crazy little nagging thoughts, but still not knowing where to go because you're getting them from both sides, you know. So it's like you're walking blind. Again, like we said in the Two of Swords, she's cut her eyes off. So this is like, it's not sure what your next turning is, not sure what your next move is. So what this card is saying is, really do analyze this. Don't analyze it in a crazy way that just sends you like completely, you know, completely mad, you know, and beats you up. But analyze what's going on, you know, look at the heart of the matter. Go right deep into it, you know, because whatever's on the surface, I don't feel that is what is causing this confusion. I feel it goes much deeper. And once you admit this to yourself, and once you know what it is, this is when, you know, there will, after the darkness always comes light, doesn't it, you know? So like I say, you know, the elements of your personality that you are trying to hide, that you might not like, you know, look inside yourself here, because I really feel this is where the growth is blocked. Recognize when our ego is controlling us. Recognize when you are not telling the truth to others, and you are not telling the truth to yourself as well, you know. And it's you've got to be truthful to yourself, you know. If you cannot be truthful to yourself, then, you know, what is the point? This is when you can stand in your authenticity, you know. And this is when you kind of be swayed by other people, and you kind of feel bad for what you're thinking, because you have addressed it, you know who you are, and you're being completely truthful with yourself as well. But I really want within this card as well is be vigilant at the moment as well. Like be aware, watch your back, because there's, I don't think it's not like somebody's out to get you or something like that, but it's like, you know, you need to have eyes in the back of your head. Just said there. You know, so this card can actually seem quite scary, because when we're stuck in this, when we're stuck in our head, it can be quite a scary place as well. But what I want to say with this card is, like I said, the after the dark comes the light, you know. Things will reveal themselves. Things are about to be revealed here, you know. There is light coming through the cracks as well. And after this dark night, you know, the sun will come up and it will shine, and then you will be able to see things as they really are. You know, I mean, if we think, you know, when we're a child or whatever, and we're lying in bed and we start to look at the wardrobe and we can see faces in it, and you know, the coat hanging on the door can look like the bogeyman or something like that. We wake up the next morning and it's a coat hanging on the door. But at the moment, it's sort of like, because there's that much mental stuff going on, I really feel that you could be seeing things in a different way to what they are as well, you know, and this could be adding to this mind mess that is going on. So it's like I say, sorry, I've just got there. Go beyond what you are being told as well. So there's confusions. All is not what it seems. There's stuff going on here, and I really feel it's a time to just watch your back, make yourself aware. Take this blindfold off, first of all. Take this blindfold off and be aware of what is going on. You know, like I say, look at all areas, you know, and just be in stillness, you know. Let this mind chatter, just let it calm down and then address it properly. At the minute, it's erratic. It's just all over, you know. It's totally all over. So I really don't think you're going to get any answers the way things are at the moment. So it's just let it all calm down and then sort of look at it rationally, rather than with this tension and this fear as well. I think there's a little bit of fear coming in around this as well, which, you know, fear can often make us act quite erratically as well. So sorry that they aren't lovely positive cards like they were, but I've got to read what pulls out. I don't want these cards because I'm not feeling as good as what I did, you know, and there's always a reason for them. So if they resonate with you, could you please let me know today, because I'm quite confused as well with them. You know, it was very hard to read them cards. But if they resonated with you in any way, please let me know. You know, I always love to hear that. I got some lovely messages yesterday off people that I've read for, just thanking me and saying how things had changed, you know, since they'd had the readings. So that's always lovely to hear as well. I am away next week, so if anybody does want a reading, if you could please book in this week. I do have some availability left, but next week I'm not going to be available for them. So if you do want a reading, then it's like, get in touch as soon as possible. If anybody would like a reading with me, if you can get in touch via my Facebook page or book on my website, the links are below. Please subscribe to this channel, and please, if you like these videos, then please share them as well. You know, it's all about spreading the love. I'll be back tomorrow with the card of today. Hopefully they're a bit nicer than what them ones are, but don't shoot the messenger, you know. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow with the card of today. Sat Nam.